Hello guys, I have just finished teaching data science at my data science bootcamp here in Berlin, and it was an amazing time. I had a very nice chat with the students, and I just want to record this video quickly because I want to talk about the imposter syndrome. A lot of people think that imposter syndrome, we just leave the more you know, or the higher you climb, or you just get more knowledge and it will just leave. I'm from the future and I'm here to tell you it won't. I mean, how do you define imposter syndrome? According to Wikipedia, it's basically the situation where you doubt your skills, your talents, or your accomplishments. It's like an internalized fear of being exposed, as frauds, that you be like, I'm going to be caught out one day. Despite the external evidence of your competence, you think that basically everything you have right now is based on the fact of luck or gimmick. Now, that's a serious thing that you actually have to deal with. I share you a quick story of my experience. I left in Nigeria. I did my bachelor's in mathematics in Nigeria. I came down to Germany for my master's in mathematics, and when I came here 8 years ago, I found that I was in a very interesting situation that I was the only black guy in my class. What that meant was I sort of thought that every other white guy in the class was better than me, and I basically had just, cheated myself into the class, and I basically lied, and I had that feeling consistently. Now, there were 4 basic approaches that I used to deal with that, and that's what I want to share in this video quickly. And the number 1 point is the fact that get comfortable with not knowing. I mean, that might sound sort of counterintuitive, like I'm trying to tell you that you should relax, it's okay if you don't know, you can basically forget about it. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that having done all, having learned everything you can learn, there's just going to be something you don't know. You cannot just know everything. And that little that you don't know, you have to get comfortable with not knowing it. Get comfortable with knowing that you don't know it. For example, I've been in the data science field for 4 years now, and I tell you, the field is very vast. There's a lot of libraries, there's a lot of algorithms, there's a lot of processes that sometimes I listen to people and be like, wow, this is amazing. How come I haven't learned this before? But it doesn't make I don't know that doesn't make me less of a data scientist, doesn't make me less of who I am. It's the same thing. You go to an interview and you probably present yourself and you say, this is what I know, and they send you a rejection at the end. It's not that they are rejecting you because you don't know. Sometimes it's just that in that scenario, you basically maybe didn't give a good impression of what you knew at the time. That's the way I read it, and I just tell myself, oh, this job is not for me. And so the fact that there is a lot of things to know also makes it that there's a higher chance that you actually don't know a lot of things. You don't know some things that are out there. You can't know everything, and you have to really get comfortable with that. You have to get comfortable with that. You cannot fit into every data scientist job out there. There's a product data scientist, there's a marketing data scientist, there's a data scientist that is having to do with customer service. There's a lot of data science positions out there, pricing, analytics, and they will say if you have not done anything with pricing before, you probably cannot get into this role. And you have to get comfortable with the fact that looking at your experience and your background, there are data science positions that would just fit you better. And so you have to get comfortable with not knowing. It's okay if you don't know. What you then do with not knowing is now where the problem is. If you find out that you don't know something and you basically relax and you get lackadaisical about it, that's where the problem is. But the fact that you find out that you don't know may be a good thing, that you are actually looking for the truth. You're actually looking to know where is my capacity at, what is my level, and then when you find that you don't know something, then go learn it. So get comfortable with not knowing. Immediately you know that it's okay not to know, that feeling of being inadequate would be really, really minimized. For me, it was one thing that worked. I'm okay if I don't know this. I'm ready to learn it. That I don't know, it's not a problem. What I do with not knowing is where the problem is. So the data science field is very vast, but get comfortable with not knowing. The second thing you need to do is have a better estimation, or a good estimation of yourself. Really, and this is where maybe I would advise to go for therapy, or advise to go for some self-positive acclamation, declarations, and the like that. There is, if you there is nothing in your external look and nothing in your external view or nothing about your external body that really limits you whatsoever. If you dissect the brain of a white person, you're gonna get exactly what is in the brain of a black person. So that you're black, or that you come from a third world country, or that you come from this place, or that you come from that way, it's not a basis for life. So if you need to define, you need to be able to estimate yourself better. That's what I'm saying. For me, when I came in and I was in the class, the moment I began to think that, oh, I'm black and these guys are white and they are better than me, I have a serious problem. Of course, one way I found out that was wrong was immediately we started to write exams. I was seeing that I was struggling with the things that they were also struggling with. So I'm like, wow, come on, we seem to be in the same level. And even in some cases, I knew some things that they didn't know. Of course, there was also some cases that they knew things that I didn't know. So that's the way it works. So I learned from that experience that I should have a better estimation of myself. It's also the same thing as a YouTuber. Okay, for example, now I'm talking even about this topic. I'm sure there are people out there that know a lot more about this topic than I am talking about now. But it doesn't remove the fact that from my experience and from my judgment of things, I also have something to say. So, and that I'm black doesn't reduce that in no sense. You get? So you need to be able to have a better estimation of yourself. You need to be able to say, okay, that I'm coming from here doesn't mean that I'm less than this person. That I'm black doesn't mean that I'm less from this person. If anybody has told you that in the past, it's a lie. Have a better estimation of yourself. That really helps with dealing with the imposter syndrome. The third thing you have to know is that you are not dumb. The idea of the imposter syndrome is to make you feel foolish, to make you feel like, oh, you were only lucky to be in this position. You have to let yourself know that you know that you know some things. You have to let yourself know that Samson, there's something upstairs. I know about this concept. I'm proud I have read about this. I have this background, and you need to be able to find that balance. I am not dumb. Of course, there are some things that I don't know, but it doesn't mean that I'm dumb. I'm smart enough. I've been through. Imagine you've been to uni. You have the BSc. You did your MSc. You passed that, and then for some reason you begin to think that, oh, I must be dumb. No, you're not dumb. Truth is, a lot of people don't know what you know, and this is also what sounds interesting. There's a lot of things that you know that a lot of people don't know. The moment you begin to teach others, I teach. You begin to find that the things that actually look seemingly clear to you are maybe not clear to others. So you teach something, and because to you it's like, oh, that's so simple because it's clear to you. And you begin to teach people, and you begin to find out that people say, oh, that's so groundbreaking, that's so amazing, that's so nice. But the truth is, to you it sounds simple because you've not learned to appreciate the things that you know. So you have to be able to have a good judgment to know that I'm not dumb. I have something upstairs. I know this. I have something to contribute when it comes to knowledge sharing. So sometimes a lot of us don't actually have a good estimation of the things we know, and we only basically focus our minds on the things we don't know, and that becomes like what we see most of the time. You don't look at the degrees that you've acquired, the certifications that you've acquired, the projects that you build, and then when you begin to share those projects, there's a lot of people that don't even understand that aspect. So the same feeling you get when you listen to people who are so wise and you feel like this guy is so smart, it's the same feeling they get when they listen to you, when you talk about the things that you are very experienced and very smart about. And you have to be able to appropriate that as well, that you're not dumb, you're smart, you have something upstairs. The moment you begin to tell yourself that, and I'm not saying this in such a way that you become pompous, you become proud, and you be like, oh, I know everything in the world. No, like I said at the beginning, it's okay not to know, and you acknowledge the fact that you don't know some things and you're ready to learn. That's fine, but you have to also know that, of course, yes, there's some things that I know and I know them well, and I can talk about them, I can share them, and that also brings me to the point where it's also good for you to be outspoken, talk about the things that you know, be free, share them openly. And I'm sure that this also applies to either if you're not a data scientist or if you're not a data analyst, but you're just out there and you're doing your job. The last thing I want to share is you're not alone. There's a lot of people who feel like this, a lot of people. So don't think that everybody that looks like they're fine and they are talking and they are sharing a lot of things actually don't struggle with this imposter syndrome where they feel like, oh, I'm a fraud, or look at people actually in top positions, speak to them and really get them to talk to state their mind. They will tell you that this is one of their biggest fears as well. Like they feel like, oh, I am the chief data scientist here, I am the team lead data scientist here, but I don't know so much, and I just fluked my way here. And I tell you that's what they probably tell you. You know, a lot of people are actually not only you are suffering with this. A lot of people actually have this thought in their mind, but they don't just say it. So if you feel like this, don't feel like you are the odd one out or you are the less one. Just basically appropriate that properly, that I know some things as well, I can talk about some things, I'm ready to learn if I find the things that I don't know, and I'm ready to listen to people. And also maybe when you climb the leadership ladder, it even becomes obvious, because you find yourself sometimes leading people that are smarter than you, and that's okay. Really, as a leader, it's okay if the people that you're leading is smarter than you. In fact, your duty as a leader is to bring their smartness together, to basically collate all of those ideas that they have and bring it together and bring everybody to work as a team. The idea is not for you to be the guru in the team. I had to learn that when I became the team leader of my team, that the idea for me is not to become the guru where I'm teaching everybody. Of course, I'm expected to teach people, to say this is what you should do, but you are supposed to make everybody run as a team. Think about a football coach, Jose Mourinho. I'm sure a lot of people, if you're a football fan, you probably know him. He's one of the greatest coaches in the world. He said something about football. He said that you're coaching the best player in the world. You're not going to teach the best player in the world how to play football. He knows how to play football. You are going to teach him how to play football in that team. And so that brings me to the idea of the fact that you, as a team, if you're leading a team, it's okay not to know. It's okay not to know. The idea of what you're trying to do is just to get everybody to run together. So 4 things that I shared. Have a better estimation of yourself. You're not dumb. You know some things. Of course, it's okay not to know, and that you're not alone. Talk to people. If you think that there's something to share, talk to people. And I think that this video will be very helpful for you. Make sure you check out my previous video where I shared about my experience as a data scientist in the last 4 years. And I'll see you in the next one.